Hello, 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 hello. Welcome for another episode of Market Leader Live. Hey, it's your host with the most, your main man, Darren M. Palmer. Excited to be with you. Where we talk about what it takes to be a market leader in today's society. Oh, man, I love being here with you. I love you because I have a great audience who interacts with me or whatnot, share the content, let me know some of the things that they're doing because I'm not the only market leader. This show is for those who are designed to be market leaders and who are market leaders. So today we're going to talk about knowing your numbers. Knowing your numbers. You got to know your numbers. Let's see. Where my book at? I think I might got it on the other desk, but I don't have it here with me right now. When I got it on my other desk over there, but I love it by my man Fatala. So Fatala, whatever his name is, the owner of the Houston Rockets. He has an amazing book out, and it's very important to know your numbers. And then I love also what my guy Patrick B. David talks about on knowing your numbers, because it was something that was life changing to me. Because you want to be able to do your comps and see what are the areas and what campaigns you should be running at different times in your business. So if you're just winging it and you're not having strategy, it's going to be tough for you to be a market leader when it comes to that. So say, for instance, if I can tell, okay, well, during these particular holidays or during this particular time, sales could be low. So I should be able to come up with an initiative or come up with something that could be able to add value to our base and also energize your team. So let's just cover a few areas besides knowing your numbers. But one, you want to know your numbers because that allows for you to create strategy. So that's step number one. You have to know your numbers to create the strategy. Because if you see a dip, that's why you see most companies doing this. They're doing a wave. They're doing a wave because they're not understanding their numbers. And I know it's not sexy. The things that I'm talking about, know your numbers. This is not, shake your haters off type of content today. This isn't, you sitting around with a yacht right now. But I'm telling you, you'll be able to shake the haters off and be able to get whatever you're choosing to get if you know your numbers and you execute appropriately. So you want to have a comp so you can say, okay, how are we doing year over year? And then also, how are we doing month over month and also quarter after quarter? So then you can see trends. That's what they mean by trends, because you're able to see the trends in your company that allows for you as a market leader to think outside the box and think about what is the next campaign? What is the focus that I should have that's going to energize, number one, your team? So you got to have something to keep your team focused and moving forward, because if your team is energized, it's going to transition and it's going to pour over into those who you are serving, because you got momentum on your side. And when you have momentum on your side, it's just like a ship. You can see it in sports. You can see it in anything. You can even see it in marriages or relationships. You can see it even with your children. If they start coming home and they're getting A's and B's or whatnot, now all of a sudden they're pushing past because they have created a new norm by at least making A's and B's or all A's, whatever that situation may be. It might start off, just A and B, then they go straight to all A's. I'm just using that as an example of creating new norms. When you energize your team by the next campaign that you have, you want to address what are some strategies, what should the campaign be for those months that might be lower in sales or you're not as relevant. So you want to keep that in mind when you're looking at being a market leader, but you got to know your numbers to see, okay, why are we inconsistent in hitting our targets during these particular times? So by making those adjustments, it allows for you to move forward. So one, know your numbers. The reason you want to know your numbers is so you can create the strategy. And then past creating the strategy, you want to be able to energize your team. And then we want to go into this one. You want to be able to energize your customers. So what I mean by energizing your customers need to be energized. You can't sit there and sound like Charlie Brown teacher, womp, 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 womp. You have to give people, like I've shared on previous episodes, a reason to do business with you, to share your information. So if you got new products, or you have a new campaign, or you have something that allows for you to have top of mind awareness, it allows for you to get more referrals and allow for you to be able to go forward and make that and change the narrative what's happening for as your sales dipping. So by knowing your numbers, it will allow for you to create the strategy that you need to create. By knowing your numbers will allow for you to energize your team. By knowing your numbers will allow for you to energize your customers. Then, my friend, it allows for you to be a market leader for us what you're doing. Because if you energize those areas that I just gave to you, by knowing your numbers, you're able to create a plan and create a strategy. By knowing your numbers, now all of a sudden you're able to energize your team members. By knowing your numbers, you're able to energize your base of customers that allow for you to be relevant, that allow for you to have easier sales or whatnot in bigger volume because you're having referrals and it's top of mind awareness. What does this lead to? It leads to income, it leads to impact, and it leads to income. So the more you impact your base, the more you will have income. So it's a positive transition of energy, allow for you to impact them in a positive way, their family, friends, and loved ones, co-workers, colleague, whoever it may be. And it also allows for you to be able to drive more revenue at the same time. To me, that's the best of both worlds. If I'm able to positively impact someone and also get income, additional income come in, that's the best of both worlds before R. Kelly and Jay-Z broke up. I'm telling you, that's the best of both worlds. So if you're looking at being a market leader, you want to focus on that formula that allow for you to make more impact and also generate more income. Then that will allow for you to be able to serve, whether it be through marketing, whether through serving in your community and doing the things that you need to do to be able to separate yourself from others in the industry. Now, most people aren't going to know their numbers because, like I shared before, it's not sexy. It's not a topic that people want to talk about. Now, they might just want to go sell, but not know the numbers. Don't want to do the tough work. And that's what you have to do to be able to see, okay, where do I need to be in Q4? What should I have been doing? Okay, what do I need to do in Q4 that's going to allow for Q1 of the following year to go to the next level, to the next height? So now you know this in advance, so you're able to cue your CRM, create content, be ahead of the game, that'll have you operating like a machine and be a market leader. Hey, it's your man Darren L. Palmer with another episode of Market Leader Live, telling you have to know your numbers. There's no way around it. You can't get around it. You have to know your numbers. Believe me, I've been there before. It's not like it's my favorite thing in the world, but also I love the results of knowing the numbers. So take time out to know your numbers, create the campaigns, create the strategies. What you want to do is energize your base when it comes to your team members, when it comes to your clients. That will allow for you to make more of an impact, not only with your clients, but also with your team. And if you're doing that, then that's going to lead to additional income on your bottom line and allow for you to continue to scale at will. It's your man Darren L. Palmer with an episode of Market Leader Live, sharing with you know your numbers. Until next time, if you won't change, be the change. Be blessed and be great.